Okay, in this video I am going to briefly detail the procedure for cutting open a woofer to determine whether or not it's been abused or blown, and that will determine whether or not it is covered under a limited warranty. So first of all, it should be noted that I know which one is blown. This one, well, in fact isn't blown. It has been abused though. We've connected it to a 12-volt battery for about 15 minutes, so the coil in this should be showing some signs of abuse where it should be blackened. Neither of them are actually giving us any coil scrape, which is fine, and both of them are working. This one should be pristine inside and that one should be black, and according to our warranty information here, basically if at any point we see, you know, once you've cut open a woofer following these instructions, we see the abuse that this one should be have suffered, then we're going to have to not warranty that, because it won't be covered, because you've driven it to its limits or to just beyond its limits within an inch of its life. And if at any point something fails after it's been abused, then as the manufacturer we can't say that it's a manufacturing defect because you've abused the woofer. So let's begin. First of all, we are going to cut this around here, cut this around. Now, it's worth mentioning that abuse, us not covering something that's been abused, is very much like Apple having water sensors in their products like the iPhone and the MacBook, where, say, if you've made a spillage with water, the indicator will change colour. And this is something that they do when you take your phone in, is once they open it up, you know, if the fault occurs after water has potentially damaged it, but the damage doesn't sort of appear for a few weeks, and then you take it in for a warranty, if they open it up and the water indicator has changed colour, indicating that in fact water has permeated the device, then they won't give you that replacement under warranty, because you voided the warranty by damaging the product with water. It's very much the same case with this. If you've abused our speakers, then we're not going to warranty them for obvious reasons. So once you've got round the surround, then as you can see in here, what I'm doing is getting right round the edge of the spider. I've cut the tinsel leads through here. I think some of you have probably seen this before. You have to do this if you're doing a recone on a more expensive sort of woofer than these. So, should you have set the amp gain up correctly, listening to the speaker in isolation, then you would hear audible distortion, and the coil, if you set it right, you can play it for years and it will still look as fresh and as clean as this, because you haven't driven it into distortion, you haven't overpowered it, it's not going to smell, you haven't damaged the resin. And that, should this speaker have failed and stopped working for whatever reason, say if it's become rattly, or, you know, typically that'll happen straight away, or if for whatever reason the tinsel leads have failed or something, then this would be covered under warranty. If your speaker had stopped working, once you've cut it open it looks like this, that would be covered under warranty. Now this one, on the other hand, should, with any luck, show some signs of abuse, and I can illustrate what would not be covered under warranty should you cut your speaker open and find this. Try not to cut my fingers off. So yeah, so it's worth noting that when you set the gains, we always recommend not using a voltmeter, although that way is scientific to an extent. The thing about sound is it's subjective and not entirely scientific. Something on paper will say one thing, but in reality sounds completely different to how you would expect with what's written on paper. So we always say and recommend, according to our instructions, that you set the gain with your ears as opposed to, there you go, as opposed to with a voltmeter, because you're not going to hear the distortion or see the distortion using a voltmeter to measure the AC voltage coming out. So you can smell it and you can see it, and this is very black, and that would certainly be deemed a non-warrantyable subwoofer there. So that's that. there you have it. That's how you cut them open. If we ask you to do that, or any other retailer would ask you to, or any of our retailers rather, would ask you to do that, then should you cut it open and find that, I'm afraid we're not going to cover it under warranty. Okay, that concludes the video.